Hey guys, today I'm gonna be talking about my samurai book review, and the book that I read was Sisters of the Sword by Maya Snow. And what my overall feeling about the book was really good because I enjoyed it. It was well written. There was action. It was action packed. There was drama. It was emotional. And it also focused on more of the culture. It also focused on the cultural, socially, and political parts of Japan. And I'll give examples of those later in the video. Anyways, my rating for this book would be about, I'd say 5-star because as I've said again, I really enjoyed it. It was fun, amazing. I liked reading it and it was enjoyable. And what I like about the book was that the fights, everything from the setting to the theme to even the characters, it was well detailed and elaborated, and you could picture and imagine what the author was trying to present. And it was, again, I could say, well written and very detailed. My favorite part of the novel was when one of the main characters, Master Goku, discovered the girl's secret, and which was the identity. And it was kind of like a weight lifted off my shoulders because it was bugging me throughout when I was reading the book until that event happened. You know when you're just watching a movie and then something happens and then just so much suspense building up in your brain and then it just gets lifted off your shoulder. I know, I love that part. That was my favorite part of the novel. My favorite character was Anna, and she was one of the protagonists of the book. There were actually two protagonists. There were two protagonists and two antagonists. And Anna was one of the protagonists, and she was sister to Kimi. And she's my favorite character because she's physically and emotionally strong, and she's kind of perfect. She doesn't let her emotions get in the way of her actions, and she was very well, nice build up character. Anyways, things that I would have changed about the novel, well, not really much because the book, I could have said it was well written, detailed, and you could actually understand it, and it focuses on the theme, and the theme was kind of about a samurai noble family in Japan. And every book has a moral, and at least three things that I learned from the book was that pride goes before fall, and that happened to one of the characters, Kenichi, which was one of the antagonists, and he was really proud. He was "Ooh, I'm the cousin of the daimyo. Ooh, bow down to me." And then he later got embarrassed and disgraced because he committed murder, and then he was banished out of his samurai dojo where he was being taught martial arts, and which was kind of a really big deal for anyone that lived in Japan back then. And the second thing that I learned from the book was that hard work pays off. Now, as I've said earlier, one of the characters, Anna, she was my favorite because she's both physically and emotionally strong. So the protagonist, which was Anna and Kimi, they worked hard, they tried their best to be samurais, and then one of the goals in the book was that they could one day be in the master's dojo, and that happened, and all their hard work paid off. And the last thing I learned was that whatever you sow is what you reap. Now, as I've said earlier, one of the antagonists, Kimi's father, he got murdered by her uncle. So it's kind of whatever you sow is what you reap, and that brought disgrace on their family. That was Kimi's family. And then they were "Ooh, your father's dead. He's the daimyo. A powerful man in Japan has died." But then later in the story, we can see that the murderer, his family, became disgraced because of what his son did. As I've said, pride goes before fall, and whatever you sow is what you reap. Kind of now, let me just give an example of it. Let's say you take an apple seed and you plant the seed. You're obviously gonna get an apple tree. So whatever you sow is what you reap. And also, talking about the socially and political part of pretty much the worldview from the book was now socially, it was talking about like Japan's social system, and I was connected to their worldview. Like now, there's a quote from the book. It says, "The first daughter of his lordship, the Jito, also known as the daimyo, should not behave like a farm worker." So it's kind of like saying that Japan's feudal system, the daimyos were like superior to the farm workers, and then they were kind of like above on the feudal pyramid, while like the farmers were below. And like politically and economically, it says that Lord Heidenreina was approached to seize the surrounding territories for himself. And it kind of shows like a political system, because like now people that are in politics or people that were in power back then, their main objective was to expand and build territories and defeat their enemies. And like that quote that I just said, to seize the surrounding territories for himself, it was kind of like explaining that they want territory and they want to destroy their enemies. And kind of like a cultural perspective from the book would be this quote. It says, "For those of you who have meditated before, eyes closed, bodies relaxed as you focus on your breathing." So it's kind of like a ritual that Japanese people do back then. Like they meditate and they do that to overcome temper and other emotions that they don't want. And it was kind of like also connected to their way of life. Thanks for watching.